unidentified flying objects. Some people claim these are alien spacecraft or visitors from other worlds, or even angels from heaven. But they have also been explained as airplanes, helicopters, weather balloons, even as flocks of geese. And many people claim that they have been contacted by these objects or by the beings they contain within them. The producers of this program set out to find any evidence that these so-called sightings are any more than elaborate hoaxes. In our search for UFO eyewitnesses, we found Patty Pitlin. Patty claims that she is besieged by unidentified flying objects.
For about a year now, these things have just sort of like followed me. I don't know what they are. I mean, who would? Green flying balls in the sky. I mean, what the hell is that?
Patty claims that someone else has seen the globes. She says she has had a number of boyfriends, but that only one ever saw the globes with her. His name is Ed Shaw.
I saw something. It looked green. Just for a split second on the side, in my peripheral vision. Patty was weird. You know, it could have been a plane or something, but she just kept saying, it's a UFO.
We went with Patty to film any objects that might resemble globes in the sky. She said that the globes appeared only in rural, isolated spots, and that they seemed to follow her.
They usually appear around sunset, near the horizon.
For the first few days, we saw nothing. But on our fourth day out...
Hey, look. Wow, hey, look at that.
I told you, it's there. You got it? There.
You got it?
It's right there. I told you they were here.
For a week following our first sighting, we went with Patty and filmed many of the mysterious globes, including this flyover. The globes were large, about 60 feet in diameter. They never touched down, but as you can see, came very close. When we filmed, something very strange happened. Although these scenes were filmed in black and white, the globes have a distinct green hue. Apparently, this is due to some form of radiation, not anticipated and not understood. When these films were first developed, we were quite alarmed to find the globes in color. The crew, of course, was exposed to these emanations, as the film was. We have yet to see the medical effects on our crew and on Patty. To get a scientific grasp on what we had experienced and filmed, we spoke with Professor Andrew Cord, a physicist at Trafalgar College.
Yes, I've looked at that film, and I've seen the phenomena that you're referring to, those large balls. They look like ball lightning. However, they're a little larger than I would assume that ball lightning usually takes. The green color, the way that it converted the film to green, is an interesting phenomena that I have no explanation for at this stage of the game. I'm not prepared to say that it's a fake at this stage, but I surely wish I were there. It's got me puzzled.
Whatever the globes are, the producers of this documentary were there and saw them. As evidence, we have these films. When we put this program together, Patty Pitlin was still seeing the globes in the wooded and isolated spots, but she's moved into a small apartment in a more populated area. She says it's probably best this way. That now, if she feels like seeing the globes, she can drive out to the country and wait for them. Every day on the road, we pass by countless electrical power stations, step-down transformers, power lines, and towers. Most people accept them as part of the scenery. But Martin Algum is quite literally addicted to them.
It is sort of strange. Actually, it's very strange, I'll admit that. It started when I was younger, about 15. I realized I was particularly sensitive to electromagnetic fields. When I was near sources of high voltage or lightning would strike nearby, I get this feeling, sort of a prickly, tingly sensation, and I get this weird taste in my mouth. The taste is like the one you get when you chew on tin foil. Really, I guess I'm sort of hooked on that whole feeling. But it's not as if I go home and stick my finger in a light socket or anything like that.
But Martin experiences more than just the tingling sensations he has described. Within the past 3 years, he has developed another strange symptom. When he is near strong electrical fields, his hands become covered with a thick, black, oily substance.
When I get near here, I get this oily stuff on me. I can't get this stuff off very easily. And that taste in my mouth. I think my body must secrete it. Because when I do get it off, my skin feels dry for a while afterwards.
Martin Algum is a typical, upwardly mobile young executive who works for a publishing company. He works in this downtown building in a city in the Southwest. Martin's co-workers say that he has mentioned his electrical malady to them.
Martin is different. He's a nice guy, but I've heard him talk about this electricity and oil thing. It's kind of weird.
Well, it's not as if he's obsessed with it. I mean, it doesn't interfere with his work, but he does talk about it quite often. I'd say 2 or 3 times a week.
I go to a station or some towers just about every day after work. I miss some days, but I usually go about 5 days out of the week. Sometimes for an hour or more, but usually for just a couple of minutes. Why do I do this? I probably shouldn't. But the feeling it gives me, it kind of relieves stress, as crazy as that sounds. You know, that tingling or buzzing. I go for that feeling. It's kind of neat.
We went with Martin on a few of his trips to the power stations. Some days, the oil on his hands would get much thicker than usual. We tried to help him get the oils off, but solvents didn't work. Neither did water-based detergents. One day, we were about to leave with Martin when he went back to the fence. Something quite amazing happened.
Hey!
Our crew helped Algum up.
I'm okay, all right? No, I'm okay.
Wait, well, hold on. Are you all right?
Still.
And offered to take him to a hospital.
No! I'm okay.
Just drive away.
He refused. What was happening to Martin Algum? To get a better idea, we showed our films to a physics professor at Trafalgar College, Andrew Cord.
That was the most unbelievable phenomena that I have ever witnessed in all the years that I have been studying physics. Even though I witnessed it, I cannot explain it at all. There have been studies being made, there are studies being made right now on the effects of electromagnetic radiation on the human body. But these effects are minimal. I have no way of expressing my shock at what I saw. The oozing of this black oil is totally beyond anything that I could explain. You would have to check with a biologist, but I suspect they would be at the same loss for an explanation that I am.
Dr. Gail Zyman, also of Trafalgar College, is an associate professor of biology.
But there's no way to explain it. At least no process I've ever studied before would explain this. Electrically stimulated emission of petroleum-like oils, like crude oil. Things don't work like that. The human body doesn't work like that.
We had intended to speak to Martin Algum one more time before we completed this program. Our crew went to an arranged meeting place, but Martin did not show up. In fact, we tried for a week, but couldn't reach Martin. His co-workers say that this is unusual.
He's always on time and almost never sick. If he is sick, he calls in.
Yeah. I remember one time his car broke down on the way to work, and he made a very special effort to call us here at the company, to tell us about it.
Martin Algum has apparently vanished. The producers of this program have called hospitals and various authorities within a 30-mile radius of Martin's home. Most probably, he has been electrocuted. Perhaps he is wandering aimlessly between the electrical substations. Maybe he is lying in a hospital bed in some other city. Or perhaps he is dead. Whatever his fate, Martin Algam has been an interesting case study, and he has served as another example of the difficult or impossible to explain. This looks like a haunted house. It looks stately, yet decrepit. Its windows are boarded up. It is fenced in. Why has this building been closed off, and why has it fallen into disrepair? Because this man claims it is a haunted house. Isidro Zamora owns this house. He once lived in it.
I moved out. I left. Do you see this wheelchair? Do you? Well, they put me in it. The ghosts. Can you believe that? Ghosts!
Isidro has been in his wheelchair for over a year.
I'm lucky they didn't kill me. How could they hate me so much? They threw me. They picked me up and threw me out of the window, onto the street.
Isidro says that he thinks someone tried to contact him immediately before his incident or accident.
A few days before everything got bad, I saw this on the wall, but I couldn't understand what they were trying to tell me. I guess I pissed them off because I was reading the wall when they threw me out the window.
Some of Isidro's downtown neighbors helped him at the time of the incident. Most say they believe his story.
Yeah, I think it's true. Why would he fake something like this? How could he jump out of a window so far into the street? I mean, I was there. We took him to the hospital.
Isidro Zamora's psychiatrist, Dr. Phil Drow, thinks there may be another angle to the story.
Okay, so look at it this way. Isidro's father died a couple of years before and left him this house. Now, he didn't get along with his mother, and he didn't live with his mother. So here he is alone in this big house, depressed, maybe even scared. So he snaps. It happens. He figured, this is the only way out. I'll have to end it all.
So, what does this mean?
What does this mean? The guy's nuts! He needs to be watched. Because now he's in a situation where he may be even more depressed than before.
I'm not crazy. Why does he say that? I'm not nuts. This happened. This really happened. They picked me up and threw me out of the window, onto the street. Just like that. I wouldn't make that up. I mean, yeah, sure. I was upset about my family situation, and I'm not happy with my situation now. But I'm not going to kill myself over it. I'm not stupid.
Isidro moved in with his mother after his incident. But does she believe the ghost story? She won't say. She refused to be interviewed.
I don't know what she believes. We don't talk about the ghosts much. At least we're getting along better now. But, I mean, It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. And you know something else? They still follow me around sometimes. I'm not in that house anymore, but they're still around. Around that house and around me.
As with our previous programs, we tried to verify these claims of mysterious phenomena. It didn't take long to get the evidence we needed.
You see? You have it on film now. Now do you believe me? But there's still something more. Something you can't get on film. I hear them. Oh, Dr. Joe loved that one. You, hear voices, eh? Stupid. Wait. Here, listen. Do you hear that? Do you?
We didn't hear anything or register it on tape, but we tried a different microphone and amplified the sound. You'll notice a lot of hiss in this recording, but that is a result of the amplification. To get an academic evaluation of our evidence, we went to Professor Andrew Cord of Trafalgar College.
Well, I'm surprised again by your material that you brought to me. I don't know where you get this material. I totally at a loss to explain it as I was in the previous cases. I myself don't believe in ghosts. I don't think that I have a reason to believe in them. Yet, on the other hand, the material that you brought to me is once again very puzzling. Okay, if on the film and on the soundtrack they have not been dubbed in or changed, the material that you have is totally unexplainable from a scientific point of view.
Yet again, the producers of these programs have found what we believe to be tangible evidence, perhaps even proof, for the existence of paranormal phenomena. And again, we have found a single character, a victim of these phenomena.
So it's real. What am I supposed to do? Call Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd? I can't do anything. Really, I guess I'm afraid to do anything. I'm stuck.